Welcome to Onivia, League of Legends highlights. These are the best highlights from today's Worlds 2024 matchup.
The dive, but even with that early attention being paid towards the mid lane, we do see Faker still doing fine. Bot side might be a dive setup here. Zeus is still fairly full health.
All right, let's see whether they can actually make this one work. You can see the barrel has been charged. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage at this point. Level 2 for Zeus does have that body slam. Going to use it immediately onto Canyon. Already down to 50% as Lehens is trying to tank that turret for as long as possible. One more is going to do it, but FaZe almost just straight up dead. And Canyon, 2 turret shots, has to flash. And Zeus says, not today, boys. Lehens looking for another option. He flashes his Zenith Blade. Lehens able to walk out of that one, but he's still going to have to flash as Faker comes down to make sure his top laner stays alive.
A colossal blunder on the execution of the dive.
And a TP for multiple summoners from Gen G.
There were so many instances there where it was very awkward for Zeus because he was one minion off leveling up, but the cannon minion had aggro. Hang on a minute, a play.
Yeah, Lehens Hex flashing in. Not going to find that Zenith Blade either. Good handshake from Carrier, and Keen taking so much damage. Lehens got to hit those.
For Grub's trade, I do think an early Drake for Gen G is great because obviously looking at their composition, the Renekton is going to lose a lot of value as the game goes on, but Sylas and Ziggs most certainly will not.
Yep. And, ooh, Cask, very close to being able to steal that one away. I do like an opportunistic barrel being thrown in as now potential dive towards the top side of the map. Lehens with that Eclipse is trying to tank things up. Doesn't really do a whole lot of work. That is another miss on the Zenith Blade fall, but I think it's almost guaranteed to be 6. So 5 are going to be going down here at least. Here for T1, no vision up and available at all as FaZe can throw a Mega Inferno Bomb if he would like to, but looks like T1 are just going to cut their losses. 5 grubs is pretty good. Canyon going to be able to grab this 6th, potentially. Owner a little bit far away as now could just be a team fight in. FaZe doesn't actually get over the wall with that satchel. Could be an important start to this fight as Chovy's teleported in. That's going to be the grub going down, but can they win the fight? Impale comes in, kept into the sweet spot, but the barrel is so good. Still, it's going to be Chovy picking up first blood against Owner, and T1 just not enough damage.
T1, they could have just taken...
looking to also even out the dragon count.
And the kill going to Chovy is a big deal. This Sylas, we've seen how hard this champion can snowball when he does get a lead. He's able to very consistently force plays with his catch potential.
Well, it's going to be 5 grubs, so T1 do have a fair bit, but Gen G, I think they're going to be able to cut this one down. Gumushi also in trouble there as the Solar Flare does get cleansed. Gumushi going to be able to make his way out. I believe that was Gen G taking it first.
Are available to try and stall. T1 are saying they do want to fight this.
Looks like they're going for a great vision here with this ward, as you can see. So Owner completely on vision right now as Chovy with the Fate sealed, now stolen away or hijacked here as that's a Solar Flare. It's going to connect. Great Impale as well, and I think Carrier was there for a second, but now he is just gone. So the Herald goes to Gen G. They'll take a kill as well, and now Chovy looking for more as Faker just going to pop back to his soul. Zeus just going to body slam his way out, and Gen G, they really are taking these skirmishes.
Gen G's target selection in these skirmishes has been so clean every single time. One member is getting blown up in a barrage of CC as Lehens is driving. Always scary, but this time it works out for the mid lane turret. Gonna get taken low. With Paze, I think his flash was forced in one of the earlier plays we saw. Didn't actually happen on screen. I think maybe when they were looking for the catch on Guma, but he was positioning so safely. There was no way to get on top of the Ziggs.
Well, now it's just Canyon and Chovy up here towards the top side of the map. 4 members of T1 in the area looking to try and push down this turret. They really want to take their second to even out the map state as far as these structures, and a teleport to come in from FaZe just to make sure that they don't lose it.
See, Gen G are playing with
5 minutes ago. T1's going to get this topside turret, so they're going to equalize it a little bit, but is still 1.5k gold for
making this very difficult for T1 to contest.
There it is.
And the Ziggs ultimate to slow down the siege.
It's Chovy comes on over, he's going to be able to clear it out as well.
It's annoying. If you're T1, it's so annoying because
that's stupid Yordle.
You're trying to cross map the best that you can, and it constantly gets interrupted.
Well, Canyon looking for an opportunity here, but Zeus just going to be able to take the red buff. And yeah, this game state is all going to come down to, I think, just where team fights will finally erupt. When these teams stop just trading objectives everywhere, as Arrow is looking to connect handshake straight into it here. And I don't think this Leona is going to last very long. That is going to be T1's first kill. They're holding on to it as best they can. Faker delivered that one. Gumushi says, you can have it, mate. Let's allow you to scale into this mid-game.
I think that's crucial as well because Chovy has that slight advantage over Faker in terms of itemization. So funneling a bit of gold over towards Faker makes him stronger in the side lane, gets him closer to that stride breaker completion. Baron spawning him at 45. I don't think that's going to be a major point of contention this early on, but it adds that extra sense of pressure. we know T1's Barons are famous for both positive and negative reasons.
There's been a fluctuation throughout the years, yeah.
But I think at this World Championship, their Barons have been very good overall. And I think it's something that Gen.G will have to keep track of, especially after their experience against FlyQuest.
Well, Canyon, he's dashing on over. Faker, able to dash back whenever he would like to, but straight into the Impale! Another Solar Flare's going to lock down Faker, and he is likely to die. The bailout not going to work, and Chovy, yeah, he stopwatches, but now he's looking for even more. Zeus not going to get stunned up here, as Keen didn't have that off cooldown just yet, and Chovy is still smelling blood.
Let's see how Gen.G handle this cross-map pressure.
Yep, it's Chovy that's going to make his way over there first, spotted by a T1 ward, as we can see. And there's the Mega Inferno Bomb just to guarantee that they know exactly what's going on. Teleport comes in, and yeah, there is no smite anywhere near this pit. Chovy, can you actually stop something from happening here? Is it going to be Ona that locks this one down? Ulti from Faker finds two. He's out of there immediately. Keen's able to try and chop them up. And there goes Ona, but they'll trade that any day of the week. They have the Baron buff as Carrier, able to get the handshake beautifully. His position, amazing. As Lehens is in so much trouble, Zay's going to pick it up with a body slam, and Pays is slowed down as well. They're being separated and destroyed as T1 just dance on Gen.G.
The main course has delivered as T1.
These tier 2 turrets is going to be their option, as now Chovy up here towards the top side of the map, fighting off against Faker, who's happy to go underneath this turret. It's so much damage. Well, so coming on through, and so Chovy is going to be okay, but this does not bode well. Party cast? No, it wasn't.
This is why I was a little surprised by the Sylas pick, because you kind of don't beat Yone in lane, and then you don't really beat him in a side lane either. There's this sweet spot in the mid game where you can maybe get advantages just because your skirmishing power is stronger, but right now Chovy's struggling to match that of Faker in the side, and T1 putting pressure everywhere. Tier 2 towers secured in top lane. They've transitioned over to mid. Now they have another wave in bot. Gen.G's been dragged over towards the mid lane. That tower's going to fall. Gen.G in game 1, slowly losing more and more control over the game.
3K gold lead now for T1, even though the first minute or so of the Baron, they weren't able to find anything. It's the setup afterwards. This team has perfected these Baron plays. Canyon!
Arrow going to connect. Canyon delivered. He finds an Impale, but he has no friends. The inner turret goes down. Hostile takeover to deliver Lehens, as Keen with the dominance just trying to distract him. In goes Lehens, trying to take them away from his inhibitor turret. But he's going to be separated from his body. And that's going to be a kill going over to Gumayushi. Only needed to invest a cleanse, and there are only inhibitor turrets left for Gen.G.
And T1 watch Gen.G walk into their deaths again and again and say thank you very much. The inhibitors stand, but the gold lead keeps growing.
Well, Faker's remaining top, has the TP available. Let's see how this one plays out.
Yeah, playing the side lanes very well is Faker, as we can see, going to immediately teleport into the mid lane as that wave crashes forward. Keen, he's got his teleport up as well, but he's going to be behind the play just a little bit. There's now Carrier looking for that opportunity. Hostile takeover, 2 seconds. Now it's back up and available. T1 are ready to fight.
Gen.G can choose to give this up. T1 only have a single dragon, but it looks like they don't want to give him the opportunity, maybe feeling like in the late game they can't match. Gen.G gonna try and go for a Hail Mary here.
Yep, Chovy's got a cask at the ready. It is gonna be Ona denying that soul, and now T1 starting off the fight. Can Gen.G actually find an angle as hostile takeover comes in? Carrier, he's tried to bail himself out, and it's going to work for now. The Impale is good. They take down Carrier, but can they deal with the carries? That's the question. Chovy starting to pop up, and so is Gumayushi. Chovy's cut down. More arrows into his back, and he knows that it's done. Flashing forward. It's a triple for Goober, and that should be the game.
He still hasn't died!
Oh my, 8 games in a row, I guess, gentlemen.
T1 in the final team fight of game 1 will snuff out Gen.G. A full-on ace at the cost of their jungle and support. The Nexus in their eyes, 30 minutes in. T1 remain the gatekeepers of the World Finals, and they'll say you'll have to try better than that if you want to make it to London.
Nexus turret number 1, Nexus turret number 2, and T1 will take the first game in this best of 5, and we'll see whether Gen.G
thus far have been very predictable in how they have drafted and the priorities that they've used. And some of these
Don't need to take any more XP away from Faker. jungler pathing topside, those kind of you'd expect. Oh no, which means that the threat of
Brom's
the dive
here.
is coming.
Yep, Carrier is going to get stunned up here by Lehens as he makes his way in. Level 2 only. Level 1 for Carrier. He's burning down. He's dead. That is going to be first blood going over to Canyon, and they'll take some plates to boot because Zeus now finds himself in a whole lot of trouble. Might have a twisted advance to try and outplay some stuff. That Arcane Smash was pretty good, or the Bramble Smash as it's known now, as Canyon underneath this turret has to flash. He's able to dodge the turret shot as a couple more autos are needed. It's Pacer locks it down, almost dies, and somehow they navigate the dive.
These grubs, but Faker setting up a trap.
Yeah. You've got Ona moving on over as well. Does get seen on that control ward, but finally Pace gets that information. Has to use the ulti. Chains don't land because the flash has to come out, and Pace is going to help now with these grubs. But that is not a lot of extra power here for Gen.G. Losing that flash, really important.
Pace staying alive is crucial there. Otherwise, if they get that kill, T1 can then immediately collapse. You saw the rest of the members actually making their way over, but instead it's a big win for Gen.G. They get the grubs, and as mentioned, the Maokai is always going to have a lot of impact as Faker.
Yeah, could be in some trouble here as Lehens moving on over, finds a shattering strike. Ulti available here as Faker decides to go down, but Canyon's there to meet him. Faker now trying to change positions, but the plasma is stacked, and Paze is going to get some revenge.
And Lehens, the reposition there to deny.
Carrier. The 80 carries that now actually have some levels in them, as we can see here. Some Berserker's Greaves done for Gumayushi. It's a bit of a battle towards the bottom side of the map. Zeus could be in trouble. Canyon once again just lawnmowering his way over. Ona going to get caught by the Brambles. Actually not, because of course there's Zeus's. I'm getting confused. Should be a jungler that has that ability. Keen jumping back though. I don't know about that one, but he has the counter-strike. Zeus now looking for an opportunity here, but Keen looks like he's out. Canyon now the one moving forward, but Ona is continuing these autos. The Dance of Arrows can get him in range as they get the Bramble Smash to slow Canyon down. Impale's going to be dodged beautifully. Counter-strike for the stun. Canyon on about 1 health, and Ona cannot dive the turret.
Not even close. Canyon
Far
holds.
behind. Right now, I think that Gen.G are on pace for trying to create a snowball, but they cannot stop. Like, this is about continuing to press this advantage as much as they possibly can. First Dragon certainly going to help out with that. Boost one, feeling really good about it. But Gen.G right now utilizing 6 grubs to smash down this turret. It's not a race this time. Yeah, T1 just didn't even really start.
It's also the biggest boost, and it's the only one that's actually essential. You know, everything past that is nice, but
yeah,
particularly, Lehens.
Yeah, possible catch here onto Carrier once again. He shows them the door, but Pace says, no, I'm not going to get caught by that one. One more auto attack, but there's the Lamb's Respite, and Ona is going to be able to save Carrier. He actually walks out so that he doesn't get tapped. Awkward word to use in League of Legends. I apologize, but that's going to be Rift Herald going on over to Gen.G as well. A monopoly on these objectives so far in this game as Carrier's flashing on over. Lehens could be in trouble. Shattering strike and hold him in place as Faker wants to be able to get a piece of this. He's not going to get the kill. That's going to go to Ona as T1 do manage to get their first kill of the game.
Really nicely done there by T1. So Gen.G started up the Herald as a hold that thought. We might have a collapse imminent here.
Yeah, you've got Zeus throwing down the Nature's Grasp, looking to try and catch them in place, but Gen.G, they just exit. They just
leave.
The move to the left. I like the approach.
Not too bothered there. Keen will get the turret though. But T1 there identified we can't really fight for the Herald. And Chovy was alone in bot lane. So they read the play. Lehens actually trying to cover for Chovy, but gets caught mid-rotation. It's going to be the Grubs and the Herald going over to Gen.G, but the second Dragon of the game.
Oh, okay. He just wanders on in there. He'll flash away, so they at least get that. Faker also taking the outer turret on the bottom side, but that is so big. And now it's Hextech Soul. Something fishy.
Yeah, and so he just went for it. Beautiful play from Canyon. Great read. Very methodically suffocating T1 out of the map.
Yep, pulling them around, as you can see, moving over towards his inner turret in the mid lane. Ace in the hole does go down. Fair bit of damage onto Lehens. Decent knock up there, but Carrier had to invest the ultimate just to get them away from this.
This time around, no opportunity. And T1's Baron damage is so much worse. Last time, they had an incredibly quick Baron. This time, that's not really going to be the case.
Yep, T1 not going to be able to get on over there. I think as soon as everyone saw that those timers were matched up, they were like, oh, T1's going to try for it.
He's not getting it. The Soul is spawning in about a minute's time. There will be nothing that he can buy in that window to be able to really be much stronger.
T1's not buying it.
What is Zeus
They're like,
up
you're not going for this.
Well, we'll see what they can actually get done here, as it's going to be Carrier blowing up like a balloon.
They were not.
Yeah.
They were not doing it.
No. They did not want to, and now Gen G might be able to just head over towards this Baron and try and take that one down. Chovy still with that Spirit Rush running. Faker able to dodge out of the way.
Keen.
Oh god, this flank angle is absolutely terrifying. Of course, all of the things about T1's team fight still kind of stand, but without the Braum, that's a big piece of that puzzle missing. We'll see what they're able to do here as the nature is grasping. Does manage to stun up Canyon. He can get over that wall pretty comfortably as now they've just singled out Zeus. So much damage. Lahens takes the kill. And T1, they had the trap set up, but Gen G don't want to go there. As now Ona trying to dash back. Keen says, no, I'm going to buy time for my teammates as Carrier comes over. The Winter's Bite does nothing, and Keen, he just wants to fight again. They'll take the Baron, and Keen gets back into position. And now Canyon is just crashing into them. The two-man impale as well. And Gen G will destroy the Baron, destroy the team fight, and I think they're looking for the game. Gumayushi is not going to stay undying this Worlds.
It is a systematic dissection of T1. One by one they fall, one by one the objectives follow. Gen G, calm, calculated, just eviscerate T1.
Oh, and that's straight into Soul as well.
The Nexus might not fall, but this game really should be over. Baron here for Gen G. Hextech Soul on top of it. And let's be fair, this is what we all wanted.
Oh, yeah. And this is beautiful execution
It's
of
so
this.
easy to get over the wall, and we see that he is just being systematically denied access, and the Keen value, this Jax does so much into these AD carries, they just can't deal with him.
I think that Keen is the biggest factor here.
Oh,
him
100%.
just standing there, it's kind of like his aura is saying,
He's
try me,
menacing.
you know? And the problem is when you lose that Braum, you lose a crucial part of your front line. So there's no way for them to
He's
approach.
stressed out, man. Always fantastic to check out the Gen G coaching stuff, but like you say, once again, back in position. Keen with the Counter-Strike now on cooldown, but Gumayushi, oh my god. That was insane damage. We've also now got a Seeker's Arm Guard on Pays. They really want to finish this game right here, right now. Look at that, another Void Seeker going to connect. And Zap onto that Caitlyn. They can't walk up. Like, how are they supposed to stop this freight train from crashing into their base? Gen G have taken 2 inhibitors in a matter of seconds. It's a 10,000 gold lead plus here with this Hextech Soul, and T1 once again throwing out some grasping nature. They try to line up behind their tank, and it is absolutely working. Pays is indeed unstoppable as Carrier goes down. The Killer Instinct is named well as theirs is his second one. The Lambs Respite going to keep them alive for now, but who's it healing? It's only healing Gen G as they move to 1-1 in this series.
Lahens going to pick here. This time the Blitzcrank is open, but it looks like instead they're going to go for something a lot more well-rounded.
Yeah, and you're not going to miss too much, so you can hop on over and you can get that one done just to get some free stuff. It's really cool. Okay, Zeus is standing on a ward, and there are a lot of bad guys in the brush. Oh, no, there's the charm that crashed down as well. It's a dead Gragas. It's going to take a little bit of time because he's relatively tanky, but still, that's first blood going over to Pays, and maybe that makes Faker's job a little...
Now Chovy's back is a little bit awkward. He's going to try and interrupt Faker. It'll be crucial if he does. Massive, massive,
He was on that ward, as we could see. I thought he was...
Even early trades here.
Certainly feels good for T1. This time it's going to be a trade, so it's not going to be the Grubs team picking up all of the dragons as well. Feeling a lot more even.
Grub secured. And level 7 being a crucial breakpoint for Akali just because she's going to get her Q at level 4, which I think it's either about 80 energy or about 70, but it makes the Q rotations much more comfortable when it comes to trading in the lighting phase.
Vision control here for T1. Do have Canyon, but he's backing, wanting to spend his earned gold from those full players.
Oh god, okay, the arrow is going to connect. The Counter-Strike wears off, but there's the cease and desist! And he can't flash Leap Strike out of that one, and even though he had the Grandmaster's Might, he's still going down. That is going to be a kill going over, equaling things out for T1.
How is Gen G going to be able to absorb the amount of backline threat that's there? Because T1 can split up a fight very easily with the Greg Assault, and obviously he has Owner to start him out.
Going to come on through here as Zeus is looking to take the fight to Keen. Does find some nice body slams. There's the slowdown as well. Leap Strike just to try and escape, and you can see Canyon. Oh, he was looking for it. A potential angle as Keen able to sidestep, but that does buy some space. Still, Owner not going to be committing.
They're going to contest this.
Just have to say, I think 6 Grubs is going to be pretty valuable
for
not T1. Yeah, the teleport flank angle is coming in here. Keen, good position to start this one off. He's just beelining right in there. Paranoia comes down. They do throw out the ulti. Carrier trying to keep them at bay, and oh no! There goes Lehens, and now Faker is caught onto Keen, lands the Shuriken, and he's going to wait for the leap strike. There's the max range Q, and that's Faker's Akalia Worlds, ladies and gentlemen.
And that is Faker coming in big lead here in game number 3.
We talked about how this composition is very much true to the style of T1, and their ability to take these early skirmishes wasn't there in game 2, but you can see how prepared they were. Ona and Keria. Keria doesn't care that he's getting focused on the Gragas then arrives, and crucially, as you said, Chovy can't join the fight.
Yeah, and Keen and Lehens spent most of that fight fighting each other because of that hostile takeover that came in. Series, we'll see whether Gen G can claw their way back to an even game state after that big lead has been acquired, about 2.5k. Now the lead for T1.
Hayes has got a...
But another one, Conga lining in. This war of attrition looks to just be going in T1's favor, especially with all those grubs, the Void Mites and everything like that. Gen G just going to back away.
Gen G seeding more, and T1, no, like, we don't have to dive this, we can just poke them down. The only way with the range that Gen G have that they can ever really, once you find yourself in a deficit, have to be extremely clean with your fight selection, as this bot lane turret will go, but the Herald might be dropped in mid. There it is.
Yep, that's going to be even more money going over to T1. They're happy to trade these turrets because this is so much more map control, as Canyon's doing his very best to try and clear things out. Dustbringer should be able to help, as there's the charge, and this turret's not going to be long for the world. Oh my god, the damage! The arrow's going to connect, and Lance trying to crack his way out. She says no! He has his bow primed, and it's another... Oh, never mind, not another charge. That's a smite coming through. Oh. Maybe it was a bait, sees an assist, and it's a double kill! He's able to get the arcane ship, but just barely clipped by the hostile takeover. And Gen G cannot do anything this game.
I mean, it's just a beatdown from T1. If game 2 is...
Oh god, okay, there's going to be 5 people towards this top side of the map as Paisley going to try and get on in there. Another cast. Keen is just being thrown around by it like a rag doll, and it's another kill for Gumayushi as a result. Gen G not able to do anything. Faker just utilizing the second portion of his ultimate because he coming into this series, they'd only played on blue side one time. This is the 3rd time they've been on blue side this whole Worlds, which is kind of crazy to me because they do love this side of the map, and they are demonstrating to us that in this series, it is not going to be any different. And hope, like, what I'm trying to get to here is that we might have 5 games, and that'd be super cool.
T1, when they are playing a comp that feels like it fits them, versus the T1 that is on something like we saw last game, is Knight and Gen G never going to contest. But I don't think Gen G is ever going to give, or a T1 rather, is ever going to give Gen G the opportunity to get to the point where these gold leads matters less, right? When you have the 2 items on pace, when Chovy can get to a next item, as
yeah, it's going to continue not being very possible to be able to make those advantages happen. And if Faker gets into the Shroud, Zay's going to follow up the kill, and now Faker is looking to try and get in there for more. Dashing after Canyon and Keen here. It is just Faker at the moment, but now you can see they make their way in. The paranoia comes down. Decent little utilization of the counter-strike, but Faker's going to get another kill. Hostile takeover means Keen is dead at the same time, and Pay's almost hit by that handshake. It could have been worse, and it's still a disaster.
No mercy will be shown to their domestic...
This guy, when he plays Akali at Worlds, it's just a beauty to watch as we're straight into it once again. Magnustorm going to come down. This could be a pick as Carrier, actually more tanky than we might have expected. He gets bailed out as well as Faker gets another one. Make it two as Ona is in on the action still. He's going to go down. The cast just to remove Pays, and Gumayushi is on a rampage. Keen is on the floor, and T1 are looking to shut out this game.
Keria doesn't even die, gets the full value from the bailout. The TP comes in, and they're not gonna relent. Chovy and Pace just, again, have to watch their teammates fall one after another, after another. They're looking dire, and unlike some of the previous games, the range wave clear is really lackluster when it comes to these Baron minions.
Oh, handshake going to connect there. Not a lot of follow-up onto Lehens, as they didn't have a lot of information. Red buff is the prize that they're looking for, but it's going to get reset, and it looks like Ona should be able to take control of it. Into the Shroud goes Faker, now Paranoia. They think they might have them where they want them, as over the wall goes Chovy. He's got the flank angle, and they take down Guma to start off the fight, but it has to be paid for by Keen. Now a 4 versus 4 as T1 look to rally back into position. Can they win the fight without Guma is the question. He's so much of their consistent damage. Is now Chovy dancing around, not able to find too much more, and T1
maybe
back away.
Faker, you turn it into a Baron, the game might be playable. Instead, It's a moment of respite, but T1 still have a very tight clutch on this game.
Yeah, Faker actually looking for Chovy here as he gets into the Shroud. The rest of T1 now moving up. The arrow not going to connect. As Gen G are now looking to back away. Now it's Zeus' turn to start a bit of an engage with the body slam. And this push and pull, Gen G putting that phalanx back together. All about this Baron right now. No one really being able to
holds his nerve, doesn't get dissuaded, still has his ulti available, but the problem is all of Gen G was
trying to set a trap here for anyone who unwittingly moves towards his top side. The Drake will just be taken here, evening out that count 2 for 2, but next one going to be very, very scary because a 4 Drake Hextech Soul sounds unbeatable. Shattering Strike going to get a fair bit of value here, but Lahen's still in a whole lot of trouble as Faker looking for them. Still dashing forward as the paranoia does come down. The stun is gorgeous. The execution is perfect. And now Chovy looking to try and get out of there with that Spirit Rush. And T1, they play it slow. They accept that they're going.
Gen G playing the side lanes methodically. They're not over-forcing their hand. And what felt like a beatdown earlier. It felt like that we were going round for round in a boxing match. But I have this weird feeling that Chovy's going to do something really crazy.
Like in your waters?
Owner.
Oh yeah, Owner was thinking about it. The arrow is going to go wide, but still Spirit Rush has to be invested as Pace gets caught by Handshake, and now over the wall they go, but Owner might be going a little bit too far. You've got Zeus coming in though, just trying to be the hero. And speaking of heroes, Faker finds Pace, but not enough damage. Lahen's the first to go down in the exchange, and now Gen G are scattered. Pace is dead, and Zeus says, you cannot take this belly. It's going to be Canyon that goes down next, and T1 will take down this inhibitor turret. It took a little while, but I think they're just going to move through and win game 3.
And all that tension deflates as the turnaround is found. T1 not going to let Gen G claw their way back in this game. Canyon tries to flash just to clear the wave.
Yeah, King desperately trying to hold him, but he cannot, and now it's Chovy left on his lonesome. He's going to need to be that hero as these minions are going to now join these Nexus turrets. Lahen's just trying to buy some time, and he knows that this game is over. Chovy just trying to get back to his fountain. Goes golden alongside Faker as the Nexus is not going to go down. The perfect execution of T1 in this game. That would certainly be... Oh, okay,
it's a pike angle.
It's a pike angle.
It's always a pike angle.
For Carrier it is. Those bone skewer. We're going to need to see absolute domination, stay ahead of the curve, make sure that these items come in at exactly the right times. All right, Carrier finding the bone skewer onto Lahen's. That's another flash. They'll take that, and this is a T1 bottom lane.
It's hard for him to actually be in a position to really set that up. He's setting his sights on mid after Faker got a really nice trade onto Chovy.
Yeah, Owner now driving in, looking for Chovy, just gets the flash. I think the rocket jump must have been on cooldown, especially in the hands of players like Gumayusi, who are so incredibly good at it.
We talked about it on the way here, didn't we, Atlas? Where like the mobility and how like in the meta it feels it can be difficult to play, but in a position like this.
Yeah, Faker looking for Canyon, trying to find that opportunity, scaring him with where this shot might go. Point blank, the charge, the stun, but the knockback with the monster shot is not enough, and first blood goes to Faker's Ahri, and it's Faker's Ahri. That's the biggest thing here, because Ahri has been such a curse for so many teams. We actually have the stats here for both Faker and Chovy, and it is a different story when it's the unkillable Demon King that has it. As another charm is going to get it. Gumayusi executes. Lahen's, they do try and even out the fight as Faker is evicted, but T1 are still standing their ground. A great start for the defending world champions as Gen G do manage to get back some control of this grub pit. And I was just saying that there's a lot of
extra special, okay?
When everything's special, you have to sort of redefine where it lies, you know?
Now Gen G have a stacked wave on the top side. T1 have read the play effectively. Faker's on the rotation. Carrier.
Yeah, can he charge it? He does find a knockback onto Pace. There's the crash into the wall as well. Lahen's just caught out and explodes. Owner's going to grab kill credit for that one, and T1 seem to do no wrong.
It's an aftershock that ends up picking up the kill as Zeus is pushing on the bottom side of the map. 3
denied just yet. In the shellackings that we had games 2 and 3, it's because Gen G and T1 both enabled their win because Gumayushi's on Barris, like we were talking about. You can't do that. We're talking about plot armor. I mean, that's to bridge too far. As now Owner is just trying to bully them out of the area.
Faker's actually gone back to base. He does have the TP available. He's going to commit it now to the top tower.
Might even be able to grab an outer before he makes that flank happen.
This is it.
Should be able to lock it in as Keen gets in there before the arrow does come down. Slightly mistimed, but yeah, Keen was already softened up. And you can see Zeus makes his way into the
Level
mid lane.
11.
They are taking control of the lanes as Gen.G are committing onto this Rift Herald. Chains of Corruption going to connect onto Lahens. He's thrown down the ulti, but he's just dead. There's nothing he can do, but Keen gets rid of two, and now Faker, he's able to dance his way out. Carrier, he's burning, but he should be absolutely fine. Regens that health because he's out of vision, and Chovy still in a little bit of trouble. Zay's going to take a mid lane out of turret at the same time.
Second dragon of the game will go towards T1, equalizing that up. But the goal difference is the most crucial thing.
Oh man, T1 going to be able to clean up the last remaining outer turret here as well. Faker going to claim credit for that one on his
I
Right
think
now.
a lot
of players have moved away from it towards the Liandry's instead, but Faker has really liked Lichbane for a little bit of extra side lane power.
And I know we've mentioned it a lot as a hold that thought lands might be in trouble again, but looks like he's going to be okay. Although Guma...
Oh, manages to catch him on the juke, and he explodes one more. Owner's like, all right, let's just turn away. We are not required.
Many times this year, TES brought them to 5 games at MSI after a 2-0 lead. They were able to persevere.
Oh, Faker looking for the charm, doesn't get it onto Canyon there, but gets the true damage on that Orbit Deception. As Lahan's allowed to drive once again. I don't know about it as he gets pulled back immediately, but he's able to absorb a lot of it still. The answering Impale is so good. The arrow is going to connect onto the backline, onto Carrier to deny him bone skewering anyone forward. And Gen.G, I mean, it was dangerous, but they get out of there after.
Good setup for this top tower, but the TP is committed. Can they dive?
We'll see, it's going to be a fair bit of damage onto this one. Spear is going to be coming out perfectly. There's the twisted advance. The charm goes wide. Faker's dead. That is going to be Canyon taking him down, but it's now Zeus trying to be the hero. He catches Canyon with the counter-strike stun, and he's under the wrong turret. Lahan's going to go down for the 5th time, and it's a double for the other solo laner. They may have got Faker, but this is what he does. He baits them into death, and it's Baron started for T1.
Every T1 fantasy in this one before. You think you catch Faker in the side lane, and Gen.G, they know they can't contest this Baron. They're just TPing to mid to try and get something in return.
Gen.G just wanted the tower. Faker TP's in. They sit there and say to themselves, this should be an easy pick. His ulti wasn't off cooldown, but the collapse was crucial. Gen.G, I don't think you can do this dragon. They're going to start it, but the collapse is coming through. Faker's back out onto the map. Zeus as well.
All right. Gen.G do manage to make their way really back. Just have Gen.G exactly where they want them. This is such a change from what we saw. Still looking pretty rough.
I mean, worlds aside, the fact that T1 is even getting revenge.
Still here for another minute. Gen.G just desperately clinging on to their world's dreams.
Steadfast presence now on cooldown for a little while as T1 look to set up a 5-man siege on this inner turret. At 23 minutes, sieging is quite difficult unless the Bone Skewer comes through. The arrow is denied by the ulti from Keen, but now with only 2 stragglers here, Zeus will explode. It's Canyon that locks up the kill as Keen dives in once again. Pei's able to take down Carrier, but it's Gumayushi standing tall and taking down Keen. Still a positive trade for Gen.G is still huge news.
Keen actually diving in there to try and contest, and it looks like they are not giving over Soul Point for free.
Well, Carrier is going to walk into Lahan's here. Hike so incredibly squishy. There's the teleport from Keen. The front line will arrive. Chains of Corruption do go wide. As now Lahan's, he's chunked out just a little bit, but he's going to throw his life away for a good position in a team fight. Carrier on a flank angle. It is going to be Ona taking Soul Point, but can they win the fight? That's a phenomenal ultimate from Keen, and Pei's is untouched. Still Carrier explodes, pops like a balloon. Zeus has the counter-strike, but he has no friends. Faker dives in to try and save him. The flash of the Gumi, and it's a double kill. Pei's now standing his ground. Gumayushi can't do anything, and Gen.G will ace them with Baron up and available.
Unbelievably, Gen.G turned the fight in the 6th one. He's got you right where he wants you, as the Baron is going to come through.
Oh man, and look, he may not have got
early. Gen.G haven't done it yet though, because all this has done is equalize the game, right, Cole?
Oh my God.
But look at that jump upwards, and the double AD carry now have hit their spikes.
All right, Bone Skewer going to connect, but the spear does too. That is a decent impale, only onto one there as Lahan's able to eat some turret shots, and he'll be okay. Man, that Primal Surge almost gave him his whole health bar back. And this Carrier, yeah, not wanting to stick around when he is seen on vision.
The charm from Faker didn't actually connect, even though Ono was able to land the ultimate. The top tower is now exposed as they turn their attention to mid to try and defend. T1's bait.
There's a Poppy and Maokai combo in the game. And there's a lot
It's
of...
fascinating how quickly the dynamic
Right?
shifted, right?
It's just, it's ridiculous.
But they don't need to go for this, is what I'm saying. T1 can bide their time. I just don't think they will.
Yeah, Nature's Grasp going to cut out the arrow, connecting onto Owner. Chains of Corruption just to try and buy some space with the flash onto Faker, the knock-up, and he's dead. Pieces arrows follow him into the death chamber as the Impale is decent. Owner still alive, he's so tanky, and it's going to be Yushi taking matters into his own hands. The spears go wide and the popping goes down. It's a double kill for the Skarner, and Chovy's still alive. There's a bit of damage, but he gets over the wall, flashes, but the Bone Skewer finds him. The shutdown for Goomer at T1. They want to go to London.
And Genji trying to get the fight, but the death timers are too long.
Oh, it's only Canyon versus the world here as T1 are taking down their first inhibitor of the game. They are not done yet. Nexus turrets stand between them and another final. He goes golden. He's holding onto the wave. He wants to take it down. He does. But another one is conga lining in. Lahens, he knows he just has to move it away from these Nexus turrets. And he is able to stall it out. Another teleport. Faker does come back.